Right, so I'm happy, folks. Hi, chums. I'm happy, folks, because I did something I don't normally do, but I'm glad I did it. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around here and let you see what I'm talking about. Give me a wee second while I shake you about. Right, so I'm just going to get my hand into the wee holdy thing here. Right, that's us. So I got my grass cut. That look a bit better than it did. It was really wet this last week or two, and I couldn't get the grass cut as you saw yesterday. And then I wanted to cut it tomorrow, but it's going to rain tomorrow and Tuesday, and if that rain gets into the grass when it's so long, it's going to make it really hard to cut. So I checked it this afternoon around 4 o'clock, and it was really dry. So I thought, right, I'm going to give this a go now. So I decided to cut it. I'm going to move in out of the wind here because that's bound to be wrecking the thing, you know. And just talk about this for a second. You know, look, there's me. There's me. So what do we see? I said the wind a bit now. Right. So why do I cut the grass? I don't normally cut grass on a Sunday. It's not like strict Sunday observance or anything, but out here, people tend not to cut their grass on a Sunday, and once again, it's not like a strict religious thing or anything. It's just because it's a bit of respect for people and the day. I've been working all week. It's only the one day if somebody has maybe get a bit of peace and sit down and read or watch TV or watch a movie or something. So we tend not to make a lot of noise here on a Sunday. When I was a young boy growing up in Portadown, I grew up in an area where there was strict Sunday observance, and we played street football every single day of the week except a Sunday. Well, most of my mates were away to Sunday school and Bible class, and then when they came home and all, we just went out and we stood and talked in the street or went to each other's houses and watched a movie or something or listened to music, but we never played football because it was kind of frowned upon. So I've taken that respect for the Sunday thing and for other people here, when it's the same for everybody else, you know. So I just prefer not to do it on a Sunday because, as I say, it's the one day when people will give you a bit of peace. And tell you what else is important. It's important to get a bit of peace yourself, you know, that you give yourself a day off. Now, I'm not really busy, but see, when I was working, I loved Sundays because it was one day when I could come out here and I could just footer about and do no serious work, but enjoy myself and relax before I'm back to work tomorrow, you know, and the stress started again, you know. There's a lot of the stress from my work I put on myself because I demanded so much from myself for my students, you know. But there's a big seagull there, isn't it? Let's see if I can just zoom in on that way. The brave size of a boy there. Sorry about that, I have no tripod here, so that's why it's so hard to think. So as I say, I don't like cutting grass on a Sunday, but I did it today, and I'm glad I did, because what I did was, instead of cutting at number 2 speed, which is just faster than walking speed, I cut at number 3, which is about twice as fast, and actually cut quite well. As I can see wee bits of mist with it, the long grass didn't get cut properly, but it only took about 20 minutes instead of the normally 45 minutes, so I'm really happy with that. So as I say, it's starting to work out better, but it also gives you an idea more of what we're aiming for here. We're trying to get this kind of set up where it's an open area here, and we've got our little fruit trees, and then we're trying to get down here, we're trying to get a wee passageway down here, and we've got trees on each side here going down, and at the end of this year I'm going to put some pear trees and some more apple trees down the bottom. I'd love to live somewhere you could grow oranges and limes and all that sort of stuff, but really, unfortunately, Northern Ireland, you know, there's no way we're going to grow any oranges up here, you know. So that's what I say, we're trying to get a wee avenue down there just for a wee feature. Now this is all going to develop, all this rushes and stuff, that's a project basically, so we're waiting to see what happens, and then we'll determine where we go after that. But we're kind of defining the area we want to leave to go wild. Now then, if we don't like it, I'll just get Neil in with the big tractor and rotavator, and here's one of those big New Hollands, and about two runs will just do the whole lot in about 5 minutes, you know, and that'll be it sorted. But as I say, we're not at that stage yet. We're kind of legging where it's going, and then if you walk down here, it's giving you a wee kind of something to feature, because you've got this wee path going down here, and eventually this path will be taken round the back of the greenhouse. but not just at the moment because I've got a lot of grasses I've dumped there and I shouldn't have, but this is how we learn, you know. So then this wee path comes round in front of the greenhouse, and then it cuts up here. So you've got another wee path coming along here, and then it goes off towards the greenhouse there, and it goes up here. And see, you can't actually see round the corners. It's just always giving you something to look forward to, that I wonder what's round there, you know. And then we've got a wee branch here, and that wee branch takes you down towards the shed there, you know. So as I say, this is panning too fast. This is a project underway. So it's going to take a few years to get it sorted out. But as long as I can keep on top of the grass, and you can see this bit's looking pretty neat now, you know, and tidy. So I'm happy enough with that, you know. So that's where they are. The other thing I was going to say to you was, thank you very much for all the information about apple trees and plum trees. You put my mind at ease. I thought I was doing something wrong, but it seems as if I'm just being impatient. Apples, I did prune the apple trees back 2 years ago, as advised, and I thought it wrecked them, but they're coming back okay this year. But I thinned the apples as well, but I didn't thin the apples as much as I probably should have. So it's a bit like murdering your own children, you know. I hate thinning out carrots and stuff because I kind of apologise to them while I'm doing it, you know. And you know what I'll do actually? See, when I'm thinning carrots, you know, little sort of, like you pull them up and they're like hairs, I'll keep those and wash them and put them into a salad later on in the evening. So there's no, it's not so I'm not wasting them, it is so I'm not wasting them. And the murder doesn't seem so foul, you know. So, what do you call it? But I hate cutting the apples off. I kind of apologise to them as I cut them off, you know. And I'm always thinking to myself, how do I know I'm cutting the worst apple off here? I could be cutting off the best apple that's ever grown in Derry McCash, and here it's lying, now it's lying on the ground, you know. I'll never know. But such are the dilemmas of apple farming. This is I'm an apple farmer now, you see, because I've got 3 trees. I've got 5 trees, I've got 5 apple trees. Oh, I'm extensive farming now, you know, intensive farming, is it? Whatever it is, I'm doing it. So there you are, folks. That's just the update. And all I wanted to do was let you see that I'm not just as lazy as you think I am, you know. So I've got to do a bit of trimming here tomorrow to get this all trimmed down and stuff, and I'll go down here and do a bit of spraying and stuff, you know. Just a bit of, I've got some weed killer and knock that grass back a wee bit. Don't like using weed killers, but sometimes they're the best job, you know. So there you go. That's where they are. All the best now. Bye.